you think this is the wrong decision, just say it.
She's the best thing that's ever gonna happen to you.
The movie Daruma is making Hollywood history. It's the first to star two leads with disabilities, but the story isn't about them overcoming their disabilities. It actually has nothing to do with it. But joining me now is the writer, producer, Kelli McNeil-Yellen, and actor Tobias Forrest. It is so amazing to have you both here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. So first off, people see that you're in a wheelchair and the other star in the movie is missing an arm, but this movie has nothing to do with the disabilities, right?
No, John Lawson, who is an incredible actor, double arm amputee, and really the reason I'm in this film because I was helping him with his audition.
Oh.
And he encouraged me to audition for it, and I said, I'm a quadriplegic, this is a paraplegic, I don't know that I can do what they need, and he encouraged me, and we both ended up doing the audition. And Kelli and the director, her husband Alex, were just committed to inclusive casting and authentic casting. And so John and I were lucky enough to be trusted with these parts and
You
were
had
able
great
to bring this
chemistry,
film.
but you had such great chemistry, and I think that one of the things that surprises people about the film the most is, yes, it's a dramedy, but there's so much humor in it, and John and Toby, they're both great dramatic actors, but they're really funny too. And in real life, you guys live, what, like a mile apart from each other?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so there's a story behind the story of just two guys helping each other on the set as well. John was there every day just to help me get through long days, even if he wasn't on the call sheet.
Yeah, now tell folks a little bit about what the story is about.
Yeah, so the story centers around Patrick, who discovers that he has a daughter from a previous fling before his injury, and the mother has passed away, so he has to take her, and he decides to do that because there's an insurance payout. But he very quickly realizes that he cannot parent her as she needs to be parented, not because of his disability, but because of what he's going through emotionally. So then he has to enlist his neighbor, Robert, played by John Lawson, to drive her to live with her maternal grandparents across the country. And along the way, he becomes the man and the father that he needs to be in order to do this. So it's really an emotional journey between these two guys. And one of the most validating things that has happened to us, because we just finished a theatrical run across the country, and we are now streaming on Amazon and Apple TV Plus and a number of other platforms. We've had a number of people in the audience come up to us or write in on our website and say, I see myself represented on screen for the first time accurately, because we're not focusing on the point in which someone becomes injured and then they have to get over it. This is, life goes on after you have an injury or have a disability. So.
Yeah, and it really isn't about the disabilities at all. And what made you cast people with disabilities?
So most people don't think about disability until they're confronted with it personally, and that is very similar to what the impetus for this story was. So we had a spinal cord injury in my family. While this story is not based on a true story, what I started to notice after that was that all of the media at the time represented the idea that dying was better than living with a disability. And I'm not going to name any of the movies out there that portray this, but I just thought, we can do something better. And that's really where this came from. And the film took 17 years to make, from the time that I very first wrote the draft in the late 2000s until the time my husband read it, and he was like, we can do this. He was like, this is something that we can do. But it took so long, I think, because people weren't really embracing the idea that there was this amazing talent pool out there. And what we have accomplished as an independent film is remarkable, and that's down to a lot of the organizations that have helped us too.
Definitely. I mean, I wouldn't be here without the Christopher Reeve Foundation. I won a scholarship 20 years ago that put me on the path to become an actor, and just last year won the very first Christopher Reeve Acting Award at the Media Access Awards for this role in this film. And it's groundbreaking in several ways because, one, there was little to no budget. It was filmed during COVID in 3 weeks' time.
Wow.
And,
indie film.
and they did the opposite of what major films do, where they would take an able-bodied actor and spend a lot of money digitally disabling them or using makeup to, alter them, and focus on the disability as a tool for the audience to then feel something. And this does the opposite. It takes two guys that have authentic disabilities, real experiences, puts them in these roles, and it doesn't focus on the disability.
And I want to chime in too, is that, Toby mentioned that the film is he's won an award for his acting. So is John. John won Best Actor at Slam Dance.
And now so has she.
Well, no, that's coming up on the 9th of December. We're receiving an Indie Award for the very first ever Indie Awards at the Directors Guild via Slam Dance. So it's been incredible, really.
Very exciting, and what an amazing role model you are. Thank you so much for joining us. Certainly appreciate it, especially today on National People with Disabilities Day. Is that correct?
International Persons with Disabilities Day.
Yes. As well as Giving Tuesday, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. So thank you both. I appreciate
you.
it. The movie looks great. Again, the movie Daruma is now streaming on Amazon, iTunes, and other platforms. And you can find more information by going to our website, kcalnews.com, and clicking Seen on TV.